On this episode, I blew my own mind, and I hope yours also. And I made a mess. You'll see why. This real estate stuff is not easy, so send me your questions and I will answer them. This is the Ask Jason Show. Hello everybody, my name is Jason Piercey, and this is episode 128 of the Ask Jason Show. We have a little audience here today. 60% of the team is here because I'm behind schedule. We were supposed to be doing a bunch of headshots and photo shoots and all kinds of stuff today, but we're not. But it kind of worked out really conveniently because this is an episode that I expect lots of people to have a problem with, but only because it will go against everything that they think and truly believe to be true. That might be an ominous, very dark way to start, but it makes sense. Okay.
Wait. There's a thing we have to do.
You need a white balance. What do we have to do? You're gonna get me a helmet, aren't you? Are you gonna make me put something on? Am I gonna play with the Death Star? What? It's nerdy. I know it's nerdy. Everything you do is nerdy. Of course it's nerdy. What is this? What's this? We're okay, this is a part of what we're filming? It's so pretty. Should this be live streamed? Yes. So if you're watching this part of the video, it's probably not live. So just check and see if the little live indicator is up there. Can I get one of you guys to hold this thing? I'll turn it around. Okay. Okay, so Director Joe has just given me this, and it's compliments of One-Eyed Kelly. That requires a little bit of context. Kelly is Joe's wife. She has two eyes, but she spells her name Kelli, so Joe calls her One-Eyed Kelly because Director Joe. Okay, okay, well this one's a knot. It's very pretty. It's a mug. It's just a plain white mug. Oh my goodness! This is incredible! Oh my God, Kelly! This is awesome! Oh, I might cry a little bit. This is so amazing. Holy cow. Is this a bad idea? No, I think I could probably do it. I mean, the timing is pretty great. Like this is, this is so great. This is so, okay. Let's film the first ever episode of Ask Jason with my brand new mug. I'm so happy. Well, that was really cool. And there's also a Director Joe mug. It's got a camera. This is actually a very, very old school camera, and it's what we use to film. It's the same one. We use the same one. This is so cool. That's amazing. Do you know what I'm instantly thinking though, Joe? Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll put them back on the set so people can always see them. Okay. He didn't spill any. I spilled lots. Yeah, they'll be here forever and ever. Like Randy Travis would say. Forever and ever. Amen. That's how that song goes, right? Okay. See now, I was all feisty about this episode, and now I'm all warm and fuzzy, and I don't know if it's gonna play out the same way. Okay, anyway, so I spoke to two separate buyers just yesterday, And one of them was purchasing right like in the meat of our market, just north of 300,000. And the other one is looking at stuff that is like between 650, 750. So a lot higher purchase price. And the two of them have been having their eyes on the market for a couple of months. And both of them were concerned about recent increase in interest rates, because obviously that's a real thing and that matters. So I had this conversation with them, and I think, I don't want to say for sure that this is the case, but I feel like the difference between managing money and understanding money are like, they're two very, very different things. You don't get rich by earning more and more money. You get wealthy by managing and understanding finance and how money works and making good decisions based on that knowledge. So the buyer that's hovering around 300 is super concerned that interest rates are gone up because it affects their buying power significantly. And I get that. That makes a great deal of sense. But they're also worried about overspending. But when you're in that purchase price, when you contemplate overspending, it's not the value of what you're getting that you're overspending on. It's not that you're paying too much for a $300,000 house, because you're paying $300,000 for it. What you're concerned about is that the cost of borrowing the money to do it is too high. So you're overspending, not on your purchase price, but on servicing that debt and on your carrying costs. And I get that. That's a very real thing. I understand. But your purchase price for the lifetime of home ownership, okay? Your purchase price is a permanent thing. You won't buy it and your purchase price ever change. So how much you paid for it when you bought it is a permanent thing. The cost of servicing your debt on it is a variable. Even if you lock in a 5-year fixed term, it's for 5 years. Then you renegotiate. That's a variable decision. That's a decision where if you understand finance, you can take advantage of the market. Here's the difference between somebody, and the purchase price is sort of irrelevant in the difference between these two buyers. It's just somebody who works in finance and understands finance, and somebody who doesn't, just wants to borrow money and buy a house, which is cool. That's where most of us are. People are afraid to spend money to buy property when interest rates are higher because it costs them more money monthly to carry that house. I get it. But it just sort of came to me yesterday as an epiphany when I was having a conversation to this money person who wants to spend more money. They were excited that the interest rates had gone up and that was going to, like, it took me a minute to get this, so bear with me. As interest rates increase, Joe's giving me the finger. I gotta move over. As interest rates increase, that decreases the demand because less people can afford to spend the same amount of money because their buying power is decreased by how much they can afford to service their debt. And I think we all understand that. So as demand for something decreases, so does its purchase price that the market is willing to accept. So over a long period of time, higher interest rates will put downward pressure on sale prices. That's just the thing that happens. And this is what our government is doing to battle against inflation. They're trying to raise the interest rates, bring inflation down a little bit, make it all happen, try not to drive us into a recession. But the people who really understand money get excited when interest rates go higher when it comes to acquiring real estate. Because as those interest rates rise and the price goes down, you can buy the same product for a lower purchase price. And your purchase price is that fixed thing for the lifetime of your home ownership. So the permanent part is driven down. And the temporary part is what caused it to drive down. So buying a house when interest rates are a little higher, if you're buying something that is above your average price point, is weirdly a good idea. Because you're going to spend 3 or 4, 5 years or whatever locked in at any interest rate, or you can go variable, but that's a short-term commitment. The purchase price of the house is a long-term commitment. So yes, for the first little while, you're going to spend more money servicing that debt. So don't max yourself out. But if you're going to own something and pay it off for 25 years, and only the first 3, 4, or 5 years are at the slightly higher interest rate, you still bought it when the market was down, forced down by higher interest rates. So then I had a look at some of the data. And this particular house that this particular buyer wants to see failed to sell for the first half of this year, and was listed over $100,000 higher than it is now as interest rates have climbed. And now this buyer's like, I knew it. So now he wants to buy this higher priced property now when interest rates are higher, because it's forcing the price of these, I don't want to say luxury items, but it's forcing the price down to meet the market. And he's like, I'll buy in now. Now I'll buy in. Now's the time. And I can see members of the team are like, yes, like shaking their, like, that makes so much sense. But nobody thinks about this. This is how people who have money always have money. And it's how people who don't have money can't seem to get money. It's not about what you're earning, and it's not about what you're spending. It's about how you're spending it and the decisions that you make. So if you're worried about interest rates climbing, don't be. Everything you buy, you'll buy for less money. The cost of servicing that debt will be higher and your buying power will be affected, but those are temporary. Your purchase price is forever. So if you're looking at a $400,000 house and you were comfortable with the monthly payment, now don't get me wrong, because I know maybe you can't spend as much money now. That's a good thing. Don't spend too much money. What I'm saying is have confidence in the fact that you're spending it at whatever interest rate. So if you were looking at a $400,000 house, or houses, couldn't find the one that you want, and now you're still looking at $400,000 houses and interest rates have effectively doubled, maybe sometimes, and you're worried about that, don't worry about it, because you're still buying the same value of a property that sold at 400. And as it creeps down a little bit, it's still there. It's just you're in this little spot, and like it all goes like this. So you're buying here, and the cost of your money might be here, but the cost of money levels moves, right? This stays. You only ever paid that amount. So do you want, to spend your $400,000 at 2% and then not know what happens to it? Or do you want to spend $375,000 at 4% and then the 4% changes over time? Because the 2% will too. And this is how people make good financial decisions. So I feel like that came out of my head fairly sensibly, but it may not have, in which case, have fun editing this one, Director Joe. But also, oh my heart, this is so nice. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
The Ask Jason Show exists so that you can get good real estate related information from a resource that you can trust. Now, speaking of resources you can trust, here's a couple I would trust to work with my mom. Because good enough for mom, good enough for you.
One quick second here. It's the dog allergies. Okay, ready?